It is Wednesday, the 18th of March. It's Challenge Cup final day. We're in the pub and it's time for the Cats Whiskers podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be listening. This is a special podcast for the Challenge Cup final. We're in the Bunkers Hill and there is a healthy contingent of Coventry fans hanging around, trying to make this feel like the home game it's supposed to be. Around the table, amongst other folks today, is Ant.
Hey,
and Adam.
this will never be Coventry's home pub.
No, absolutely not. I thought they were bringing a Crosby's sign and everything. I'm disappointed at their effort level, frankly.
They have got a big, but it turned out to be a big flag, a Crosby's big flag, and I don't know what's happened to it, but they've just got a random Coventry flag up outside the pub. But up until about an hour ago, it was literally Blaze fans and me and Zara in the pub, and then the football's about to start, and a load of Newcastle and Barcelona fans have come in. And now
I've been at work today.
Well, yeah. Some of us have to work a full day for a living.
Sorry, I was at work at 6 o'clock. I just happened to finish at 12:30 because it's cup final day.
Yes, quite. Yes, indeed. Just quickly, just want to let everybody know, Aaron Lord is so excited he fancies listening to some Jason Donovan. But in other news, today is Wednesday.
I don't know what else there is to say about that.
No, there was absolutely nothing else to say about that. But hello, Aaron. Nice to have you with us. Just want to quickly address, we've had a couple of comments on the old socials. One from Callum Breeze, which feels like it's actually a podcast question that we may or may not have answered in the past. About asking him about basically the potential for making this a 3-game series or a best of series, and whether or not this might have been the time to test it out. Now, the one thing I would say, and I thought about this because I've had the tram ride up here to think about this. The one thing I would say about this is think about how much we've bemoaned this particular fixture as it is, the fact that it's supposed to be a Coventry home game in Nottingham. We talked about it on the last podcast, on our last lengthy podcast.
Available on Spotify and all other broadcasting forums that we're about.
Yeah, yes, available on all good podcasting forums. My personal feeling is that the Elite League aren't ready for it. I don't think it's the fans that would be opposed to it. I genuinely think that the Elite League aren't quite ready for those levels of organisation.
Well, we kind of trialled it, didn't we, with the COVID Cup that we won. It's just so happened that we ended up beating Sheffield in 2 straight games, so we didn't need that 3rd game. Obviously that was different because it was all here, but it's funny enough because before I saw that question, last night I was thinking about all the hoo-ha about, with where the final's being played and stuff like that, and I was thinking to myself, just go back to the 2-leg finals and what have you, and then I was like, actually, logistics-wise, could it work to have a 3-game final, a 3-game series for the final? I think that it's still the same issues that we got with your arena teams going, we're going to reserve a date that we might not need, and how much is that going to cost? But if you're ever going to do it, because I don't want us to change our playoff format. I think our playoff format is special. The fact that it is a proper end of season celebration. But if all these traditionalists, if you like, even though we're British, hence the reason the league is the most important thing, to have your 2-leg semi-finals and then maybe a 3-legged final, I think that's got legs. If you can fit it in. Now this season, obviously, there's been the issues with the Belfast Coventry game, which has basically meant we've had a week to buy our tickets for the final. So this would need some proper planning in the fact that the semis will need to be played earlier and what have you. But I think there's some legs there. Are Newcastle about to score? No. we move on. Adam wants to say something.
Yeah. So, in the last podcast that we did, and it didn't feel that long ago, this must be one of the shortest gaps between podcasts we've ever done. I suggested one way around all of this furore about where the final should be. Well, you can go back to two-leg, or if we're going to run with this best of three series idea, which, again, I'm not opposed to out of principle, then maybe the first game's in Nottingham, the second game could have been in Coventry, and the third game could have been in Peterborough. Just like I said the other night.
It would have been, because Coventry were the high seed, so it would have been game 1 in Coventry, game 2 in Nottingham, game 3, if it was needed, back in Coventry. So
the third game could be sort of like in a car park in a neutral ice rink, ball hockey.
Just a bit of foosball upstairs in Monkers.
Or nearest the ball.
Just pick a straw out of somebody's hands as to where it's going to be.
Straws in Monkers, by the way.
Of course they do. Yeah, we could sort that out. To be fair, and I mean, going to Challenge Cup final draws past, it wouldn't be the least professional one that's ever happened either. The Newcastle fans are getting a little bit excited now. Anyway, right, guys. Thank you to Callum for that question on the old Facebook. How are we feeling about tonight? I mean, personally, I'm quite relaxed. I'm quite kind of. I think basically because it's effectively yes, it's a Coventry home game, but it's our home game. I feel quite relaxed about this, and what kind of what will be. But obviously we want to win. We want to put our best team out there. And given the result on Sunday, it did not set us up too well. I mean,
I'm nervous, and I know you're. You just said you're quite chill. I know Adam's quite chill. I'm nervous. I'm really. I mean, it's cup final. It's that same thing for a cup final. I mean, with the game, it's a bit of a shame. It is a little bit tarnished in my eyes, because this year, if we win it, we've owned, and I'm doing this in inverted commas, we've only won it because we're at home. It's the same playoff bull sugar argument that people come up with that happens to go away when we're not winning stuff, but then when we win it, oh, you only won it for time. But then if they win it, you can't win a cup final at home. So it's kind of like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
We've become the bad guys through no fault of our own, essentially.
It's the league that balls this up. We know it's the league that balls this up, and I think the vast majority of people know it's the league that balls this up. But I mean, with regards to the game, it's just like, I mean, they've won the last 2 games here, haven't they? So, after I had calmed down. After I calmed down after Sunday's game, from Monday onwards, I've just had this, it's that proper fist in your stomach in the lead up to a big game, and I've had that. And today it's just been like, as Deadpool said, I should have worn the brown trousers.
Well, as Deadpool also said, maximum effort. Adam, how are you feeling?
I'm remarkably zen, and I bet zen is the first time that word's ever been used in this podcast. Honestly, I've been calm and relaxed about this for the longest time. I think it was more stressful getting to the final than actually, participating in it. It's been interesting because there's been various things said all day from.
He's eating, so we might as well contribute. Go on.
Yeah, it's like certain people have said, they're sick with nerves, and other people have said that they're quite calm and quite chilled about it. Honestly, I'm totally chilled about it, because I think this is a bonus because of the way that we got to the final and we went through the playing game. I think that we've demonstrated that we can sort of pull it out when we need to. We're good in the big games. We've got that sort of big game mentality. We might fall flat on our faces now. I've said all that. I've given the team the big build-up and they might completely let us down. But I just feel that I feel like it's really, really closely balanced. And I think that's probably why I'm not that nervous, because if there's like one team that were overriding favourites going into this, that might affect my confidence level. Say if we were playing, by some strange quirk of imagination, we were playing, say, Fife or Dundee in the final. It'll never happen, but if we were doing that, then, I think I'd be more nervous with a sort of title of being total favourites for it.
Just alienated the Scottish fan base there.
Yeah, quite possibly. But, well, no, to be fair, Fife and Dundee, the organisations have done enough to alienate the Scottish fan base as it is. They didn't need, they didn't need Adam Reddish's help.
No, but I'm totally calm about it. And I've already said to another commentary friend that's in the pub around the table at the far end, if Coventry win tonight, then I will take my cap off and I will doff it to them, because the way they've got to the final is fantastic. And one of the things that I was talking about earlier was for Coventry to get to a final, a non-arena team actually gives hope to all the other non-arena teams that they can get to the final in future years of this. So, you know, I sort of equated it using the analogy of Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup last season. It just gives hope to those underdogs that don't traditionally win anything year after year. And if Coventry win it tonight, who's to say that Manchester can't win it next season?
The difference is there, with Crystal Palace, that was funny because we were neutral. With Coventry, we've been rivals with these lot. Don't forget the whole Team Hollywood thing. We're going to bring Scott in. Scott's in from the 3-on-3.
I was just going to say, from 3-on-3, random Coventry Blaze fan, and he's just sidled across to us like he doesn't know that we're podcasting.
But don't forget all those years where you saw sky blue, and I mean, obviously I see sky blue when I see red anyway, but you see sky blue, no, F these guys. And I know Scott feels exactly the same way about us. Just because we've not been great over the last 10 years or what have you, doesn't mean we can put all that aside. And this is what is like the one thing for me that the positive about moving the game here is it has brought a bit of animosity to the game, and so there's a bit of edge. Whereas before it's been quite, obviously we love Kevin Moore, we still love Kevin Moore, even though he's, you know, you couldn't have two more opposites, picture-wise, could you, than Danny Stewart and Kevin Moore. But
a barber's delight and a barber's stranger, yeah.
And they're opposite ends of the spectrum.
And Coventry still have a lot of love for Danny, obviously, because he was their coach and their player for so long. But you kind of taking that all aside, and there's a bit of niggle to the game. I mean, the fans are great outside. I know there was a bit of some comments about them turning this into Crosby's and stuff, but it is fun. Apart from the football being on as well, it's a bit of a perfect storm in it at the moment. But yeah, go on, Scotty. Where's your?
I was going to go. We're going to bring him in because he's stood here and he doesn't seem to be going away. So let's just do it. Scott,
pipe down on the table is here for the next few.
As Davina McCall would say, please do not swear.
Yeah. So interesting substitutions for swear words. Totally encouraged. Scott, how do you feel going into this game?
I'm very confident. I think that we've had the adversity of everything that's gone on. We had the cancelled game in Belfast. I get the league's move. Do I like it? No. But I feel like it's brought a massive presence. Like, as Ant just said, outside it's absolutely buzzing. We've brought 1,400 to this game. So I'm really happy. And look, it's our old rivals. I was there with the Team Hollywood days. I've always said I hate the Panthers.
White skates.
Johan Molin's white skates. It was a rivalry that was for the ages, and I feel like it's come back a little bit tonight. It's good heart, it's good humour in here, and that's what it should be. But I'm ready for tonight, and I do think we'll win.
Well then, we'll see how this goes then, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned, and we're going to try for a bit of during commentary, and then we'll all get together afterwards and chew the fat over what we've just watched. So stay tuned, we'll see you in a minute. Okay, end of the first period, and we are squirreled away in the middle of T&D's to look back at that. First thing I want to sort of address, guys, as I was walking around to T&D's, I heard somebody say to somebody else in the concourse that no, I didn't. That's not what I heard people say. I heard somebody say Robson's having the game of his life. No, he is not. Right. That is what Matt Robson does.
No. For me, we didn't really. I thought we had the overall possession of play and everything. We were the better team in that first period, but until that last 2 minutes, I thought Coventry had the better chances. Carr up until that last 2 minutes had made better saves than what Robson had to do. And then the last 2 minutes happened. We get a couple of half chances, decent chances, and Robson does what Robson does, like you were alluding to, Tina. But yeah, for that first 18, probably 17 minutes, yes, we were the better team, but yeah, Robson didn't really have a lot to do. But then he's shown what he can do.
Yeah, most definitely.
I thought it was cagey. Cagey, but really, really aggressive. I thought the
pace was absolutely frenetic.
But the pace was relentless and frenetic, but I thought the quality of hockey was quite poor. There were a lot of turnovers. I thought players were being rushed into making hurried decisions. I thought the flow of the game was quite choppy and disjointed. Both teams came out the traps at a million miles an hour. And look, I get that. Both teams want to put their stamp and their sort of footprints over the game early doors and sort of send a message to the team. But I didn't really think it was particularly high quality. There weren't really many what you call grade A chances created till probably about the 15th minute. So I thought it was quite even. I thought we probably just shaded it in terms of the better hockey played. But in terms of chances, yeah, Coventry probably had isolated chances that Kevin Carr did well to save. But then at the end of the period, yeah, Robson made 3 or 4 unbelievable saves that he's probably got no right to make. But he just seems to do it in this building time after time. And I said to my friend Andy next to me, who's watching the game with me tonight, surely it's time Matt Robson had a bad game in this building.
Well, I mean, you'd like to think so, but I mean, let's just have a moment of appreciation for, I think it was certainly within the first 5 minutes, that double save from Kevin Carr, because that was absolutely spectacular. And had we conceded at that point, I think that the tone of the rest of the period would have been very different. And
well, I mean, it's literally what I said 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's hard to put anything on. I can't see which way this is going at the moment. It's
still wide open, isn't it?
I mean, like I say, we've had all the puck possession, but up until that last 2 minutes, I'm repeating myself, but up until that last 2 minutes, I would say Blaze had the better opportunities.
Anybody other than the netminders sticking out to you guys?
I think Pearson's. Yeah. I think Pearson's playing well. Yeah.
I personally, I mean, certainly from Panthers, I would definitely pick out Brendan Harris. He's got an extra gear in him tonight. I think
you always pick out Brendan Harris though, because he's great.
I mean, he is great. And normally I'm up in Matt Marcin, but tonight, so far, I think there's a lot of players who were, they're consistent and they are, they're keeping up pace. But for me personally, Brendan Harris is definitely sticking out.
There was that chance for Kelsall at about 16 and a half minutes, something like that. Well, I don't think he realised how much time he had, and he was just all of a sudden all alone next to Matty Robson.
And he tried to backhand it, didn't he? Where there wasn't really a lot of space.
He could have, in football terms, he could have taken another touch.
He could have took another touch. I think, and we love Jordan to bits, we're his biggest fans on this podcast, but you really want somebody with perhaps slightly better hands than Jordan Kelsall in that situation.
I don't care.
Scorches here.
I absolutely don't care whether it's Jordan Kelsall or whether it. I mean, look, I'll take a goal from Kevin Carr tonight. I don't care, honestly.
Yeah.
But if Jordan Kelsall's got the opportunity to score, then Jordan Kelsall. I would have loved to have seen him put that away. I really would.
It's about the percentages. How many times is Jordan Kelsall going to put that away right in front of the blue paint of Matt Robson? Probably maybe 1 or 2 times out of 10. If that goes to a Harris or a Pearson or a Foss, that possibly goes in 6 or 7 times out of 10. So, look, he was in the right place at the right time. You've got to give him credit for that. But you're right. I think he's probably not used to having that much time, because he's a disruptor. He's on the fourth line. He's a grinder. He's a really effective grinder. He's not known for his finesse and he's not known for his goal-scoring abilities. So, it's just a little shame that we didn't have one of our sort of more high-profile marksmen there in front of the net to take that chance.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. I think I personally think it's a shame that he didn't realise how much time he had, so he could put it away.
Can we also talk about that puck that was chipped up towards that second period that would have gone through the roof at the Sky Dome, but it's ended up breaking our bloody scoreboard.
There'll be an invoice in the post to Coventry, so any money that they might make from this final through the big attendance, that's going to go.
It shouldn't go to Coventry, it should go to the Elite League, because it's an Elite League event.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, this is why we don't invite them down here very often, We don't invite them down here willingly, because they keep breaking stuff. It's still perfectly poised. Like you say, like you've said earlier, Adam, this could go either way still. And I think this is everything that we wanted from this final so far. So the signs are good that we're in for another good 2 periods.
It's tense. It's tight. It's tight like a tiger. And we all should still be wearing the brown trousers.
Yeah, absolutely. The game needs to settle down because, for the first 15 minutes there, it was being played too fast, and you can't sustain that for the whole 60 minutes or maybe longer if it goes to overtime. But I'm sure that some sort of structure to the game will be introduced in the second period, and we'll start to see sort of more. How can I put it? More structured offence, because at the minute it's sort of chip the puck in, dump and chase, very sort of run and gun.
I think it's that there's a lot of nervous energy that everybody's trying to burn off, but the thing is, you want to come out fast, you want to come out hard, and you want to make the opposition think about what they're doing or what they have to do to keep you at bay.
I may well sort of have to eat humble pie at the end of this game, but I thought the officials in that period were excellent. I thought there were 2 or 3 things in that period that would have probably been called in a regular Elite League game.
They've let things go, and that's what we want to see, and what have you. So
we're not here to see them, and I think they know that, which is good.
You want the players to decide this game, not the refs.
Yeah, let's see what we say after the end of the second period. Yeah. And on that note,
and on that note, we'll curtail this one here, and we'll reconvene after the next period. Right then, here we are once again at the end of period 2. Bit of a feisty ending to that period. Adam, you've got some strong thoughts on that as well.
I have. I think that if that hit on Hembrandt is called by the officials like it should have been, none of the aggro happens. Look, I'm all for refs deciding to put the whistle away for finals and letting the players decide it. But when you get dangerous stuff like that on the boards, sorry, you can't look away from that. You've got to call it. And the players are obviously cheesed off by that, our players, and that's manifested itself in all sorts of aggro for like the last 3 or 4 minutes of that period. So that's all on the officials as far as I'm concerned.
From the other spectrum, first thing I did once there was a break in play was message people who were watching it on TV and ask them about the hit, and they've all come back and said it's clean. So the difference is they've replays and stuff like that. So we don't know until we see the replay. At the time, I thought, well, you put your whistle in your pocket, like you said, fantastic, and it's made for a really good game. But if you're going to call something, you're surely calling that. And then typically, I thought they were going to score because we were 2-on-1, and then luckily for us, the puck's bobbled and it's gone wide. So.
Yeah, well, luckily for us, Constable does not like backdoor action. So we kind of got away with that.
At the moment.
At the moment.
But can we talk about the goal?
Yes.
Or their goal first of all. Obviously, it comes off. They hit the post, and I think Kevin is a bit scrambly all over the place. And then it takes about 18 billion deflections, loops up and in. It was like, if any goal was going to open the final, it was either going to be a bibbly-bobbly boo like that or an absolute screamer like our equaliser.
Well, yeah. I mean, we did get a message earlier, I think slightly tongue-in-cheek, from Kay Minor on the artist formerly known as Twitter, and she said Tetlow's going to get a hat-trick. And I mean, that's probably very much just an exaggeration. However, well, yeah, I mean, he's kind of come close to it. And actually, Steve, who sits behind me, he actually said, we'll probably never know for sure, but I think Tetlow might have had a goal stolen off him. Because, I mean, if you look at the replay, I mean, obviously we've only got the Jumbotron to look at, and it's not like it's not a 4K clear as glass picture, but I can't see where Fossier touches it.
The fixed Jumbotron.
Yeah.
The fixed Jumbotron.
The now fixed Jumbotron, which apparently they had to bring down to ice level to fix while we were in here recording the previous period. So yeah, we missed it.
Nobody's got any video footage.
Well, we've got Jenny's got pictures who sits next to me, so I'll share.
We'll talk about how the game has gone. I thought second period we started pretty much it was the same with the first, and then Coventry got that bibbly bobbly boo goal, and then for the next 10-15 minutes they were pretty much all over us. I thought me and Adam said exactly the same thing. We've been very much guilty of overplaying it like we were against Fife on Friday, looking for the perfect goal, and ironically our goal comes from somebody actually having a gamble
And
well, I mean, clearly Tetlow saw daylight. He saw a path to goal, and he thought, And the thing is as well, Tetlow is like your ultimate defensive defenseman, and so you don't often see him up at the hash marks where he was. So it was, if he's there, you know he's gone there with a purpose, quite frankly. So he's obviously seen that there's a path to the net, so he shot it towards the net. Whether Fossier's got the touch on it, for you, great, fine. It's gone past Robson, but Tetlow was the one who had that one and saw that one and made it go towards net.
We've got to get the puck on net faster. Yes. I think that's been the problem for probably 35 minutes of the 40 minutes we've had so far, is that the play's been okay around the blue line, but we've just not been able to get that puck in close on Robson. And don't get me wrong, Robson's made some great saves. He made those 2 or 3 blinding saves at the end of the first period. That period that's just gone, he hasn't really been that busy. We didn't really get a lot of traffic around that net. We didn't get that many pucks on his goal. So in the third period, okay, it's still going to be tight because it's 1-1 going into the third period of a final. So, Coventry aren't just going to start to come out and leave massive gaps and holes at the back. It'd be great if they did, but they're not going to. So we've got to be really careful. But any chance we can get the damn puck on net and just see what happens, like our equaliser.
You don't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. But we've had a message from our Belfast correspondent Noel Gillespie about the hit on Hembrandt. Just saw the replay of it, really nothing in it, just pushed him over. And even Paul Adey said, if you're going to call something, you want it to be a real call, not something where the guy maybe embellishes it a little bit. So maybe Hembrandt's gone down too easy, a bit like he's been watching Sheffield. But we need to go back. Third period, we've got a trophy to win. Come on!
Yes, third period, it's a go. And we'll see you afterwards. Well, I mean, if you're listening to this, we'll see you in a minute. Right, here we are in the concourse. After the conclusion of regulation time, we're preparing for overtime, mentally, physically, vocally. What a period. A period that I think Coventry Blaze fans will be much happier with than Panthers fans.
Was in the fact that it's 2-2.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because it was like the ice was tilted until they got that power play.
Yes.
It was like the ice was tilted, and it was just a matter of time before we scored 3 or 4, apart from Robson.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, yeah, Robson has continued in the same, in the same thread.
Both keepers have been really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Both keepers have been absolutely stellar. Right. Now, couple of controversial points for me, both involving officiating. So, you've got the aforementioned penalty that was called on Panthers for a high stick, and then a call that wasn't called at the other end, where Fossier was basically, thrown to the ice, and then leaned all over by a Coventry Blaze player. Right in front of the referee while he was stood there watching. So, yeah, a couple of controversial talking points. But and go on, you've got the eyes in the sky. No. You don't get to be. You don't get to have privileged information.
I think my reaction was in the group. I'm not going to obviously repeat that because there was a few expletives. But you call nothing all game, and then call what you did. However, again, neutrals watching at home, clear as day, high stick. But then, for me, the slashing call that's now put us on this power play as we finish the third period, and I'm sat there thinking, this is about the time that if we were Sheffield, we'd get a power play. And then a minute later, it wasn't. I mean, none of the penalties were penalties for me. Just, there was a bit of nonsense at the end of the second. Just let it go. It's a cup final. Why are you putting players in the box for that? There was nothing. It was just a bit of pushing and shoving, a bit of handbags. You've called nothing all game and you're calling that nonsense. But yeah, unfortunately, the high stick wasn't a high stick. But it was a high stick. So we'll sit down and behave ourselves.
Well, for now. But I mean, that was, that made the game very, very heated from that point. And I think there was a reaction from Panthers as well, from Panthers players, where they were physically invested for the minutes following that particular incident.
For me, he was already going down before
before there was any.
Well, the going down is not really necessarily
So
the problem, but it's the holding him there. That's not it, especially when the puck is still in the area. If the puck's gone, that's a whole different discussion.
But that's been happening throughout the game, and they've not called it. You can't just start calling it now. They've decided to put the whistles in the pockets and let it go. And for me, it's made it a more entertaining game. But it's also, you knew they were going to equalise on that power play. Yeah. As frustrated as we were at the time, and then obviously I've had information afterwards from people watching it on telly with the benefit of replays and stuff. Oh God, are we really doing this? Are we really doing this overtime?
Yeah, we're really doing this overtime. Time of recording, it's 10 o'clock on a school night. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Ping the message to Jamie at Bunkers and said, please don't close before we get in there.
Yeah, no guarantees, I suppose, because this could go on. I mean, nobody at the Motorpoint Arena got the memo apparently, because they're all closing up just like they did that playoffs. Yeah. Adam, what happens now? Do you think?
Oh dear, what happens now? Well, I wish I knew. Look, we've got a minute and 35 of a man advantage. Is it the best time to have a power play? Look, Kevin Moore's going to be telling his players there, you cannot concede a goal here. You cannot.
Yeah, it's game over at that point,
exactly,
isn't it?
Exactly. So, this is the most important penalty kill of the game. But
Is there a penalty kill of the game so far?
That's absolutely true. But look, we've just got to try and make the most of it. I'm never a fan of having power play time at the start of a period, because it always feels a bit clunky and a bit disjointed. Like, you can't really sort of get your power play flowing, and you can't get your passing and
which is weird, because you think you've got 20 minutes to set this up. You've got 20 minutes to get the tic-tac-toe board out and have a go, and you're right, it never happens, does it?
All comes down to who wins the draw. Yeah. Centre ice from that face-off. If we win it, great. We can advance up the ice and try and gain the Coventry zone, and see if the first power play unit can work its magic. If Coventry win the face-off, puck goes down behind Kevin Carr's net, chews up another 20-30 seconds of the power play. But look, I mean, what is it with Panthers and overtimes? I mean, come on, guys. Can you not just beat a team 5-0 in the final, please, and make all our lives a little bit easier? For the sake of all of our blood pressures, I mean, I've got work tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you and me both, mate.
I dare say quite a few other people in this building have, like, if you're a Coventry fan and a Panthers fan. But look, it's now down to luck, isn't it? Because, Yeah.
Or Lemos.
Or your boy Lemos.
Or Lemos. It's look, I mean, a bad puck bounce here or there, and that might cost you the game. You might get a fluky bounce off the back of the boards behind the net, pops out front to a player, whether it's a Blaze player or a Panthers player, it's game over. So, we're really in the lap of the gods now. Unless we can sort of get something on this 1 minute and 35 second power play that we've got, then, I just can't call it.
Yeah, the whole game has been close, and it remains so, because
It's been a belting final. Like Ant said, it's been a really, really good final. Both sides have absolutely given it everything. Neither team will sort of have anything left out there at the end of this. Whoever wins it will have worked damn hard to win it.
Yeah, most definitely. So we'll see what happens, and we'll reconvene at the next particular point.
We'll do it at the end of the game, aren't we? We're not going to come back in between period breaks now, because I've got nothing left, Phil.
I just can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power. Right. Anyway, on that bombshell, we will reconvene when this is all over and done with. Right then, here we are, post game. Bunkers Hill. No, you can. No.
I just want to come in straight away.
No.
And just paraphrase the GOAT, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Hang on, because you.
Hockey, bloody hell.
Despite I said no means no, Antoine. Here we are, post game, and the Nottingham Panthers, after 10 years, have won the Challenge Cup. here we are. Dear Lord, what a game that was.
Aaron Lord's not here anymore.
No, but I bet he still wants to listen to Jason Donovan. Guys, I mean, we've unpicked various things throughout the game, and then we've got the overtime period that was where we started on the power play, couldn't capitalise. As Adam said, was crucial. Lost the draw, and couldn't really get hold of the power play after that. However, it was, a quick shot on net. Like we said, got to get the quick pucks to the net, and that's what it took to get past Matt Robson.
It's got to be a special shot to get past Matt Robson, because again tonight he was phenomenal, stood on his head. But both netminders were brilliant. Both netminders, gave their teams absolute sort of confidence in defence, and it was a great final. It's a great final. Look, as happy as I am that we won, and don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely delighted. You can't help but feel a little bit sorry for the Blaze, because they played their part in an incredible final. Okay, it might not have been the highest quality final of hockey, but both teams gave it absolutely everything, and I think the effort that both sides invested into that final sort of meant that they cancelled each other out a little bit, and it got a bit scrappy, a bit choppy at times. But my God, there was a lot of excitement there, and actually, as overtime periods go, it was possibly one of the more entertaining ones that I've seen for a few years.
We've managed to catch up with Mr. Paul Barnes. Paul, you've not had the benefit of every other one of these little snippets that we've done, so just give us a summary, mate.
We won!
Yay!
That's a 2-word summary. They lost. That's another 2-word summary. What a game! What a game it was! It was end to end. I don't know who told the referees to turn up on Thursday, but quite frankly, it was like watching the Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Nothing were getting called, and then when it did get called, it was a garbage call on Harris. But we at times looked like we were trying to walk it in, which is what we've tried before with Robson, and it didn't work. But in the end, it was Hembrandt again. That's
Ole.
Thank you. That's another 2-word summary. Hembrandt again.
Hembrandt again.
Ole. It's all about the timing.
It is all about the timing. When you've only got one microphone, it kind of loses something. I don't really know. I don't really know what else we can say about it, because that like you say, it was an end-to-end period of overtime hockey. It was frustrating as hell at times, and I'm sure it was for both sides, to be fair.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with you all. I don't think it was end-to-end at all. I thought we dominated overtime, and they played on the counter-attack. We had the vast majority of puck possession. We massively outshot them. In the end, I'm not touch it. In the end, and I don't say this a lot, but the best team won. I just thought overall, on the whole of it, the better team won. It was quite an even first period, which we talked about. Thought Blaze had the better chances until that last 2 minutes, which we talked about. Second period, then you get your first couple of goals. Their bibbly-bobbly-boo goal, and then our beautiful equaliser. And then we go 2-1 up. After I'd literally minutes earlier messaged the group and said, I don't think Stridsbird's having a great game. Because at that point, it misplaced a couple of passes, and there were some dodgy, it caused Coventry to go on the attack a couple of times. And then that puck flew in. I was like, oh, get him. And then we talked about the call and their equaliser. And then, what a rocket to win it, though. We are, to be fair, we've scored 3 great goals tonight as well. And, I do, obviously, taking my Panthers hat off, my heart goes out to Coventry and their fan base. They were terrific all night. When they were told to sing by their announcer. We've got a lot of friends in that Coventry fan base, and I doff my hat to them. But on the whole of it, I thought we were the better team overall. We deserved to win it. And it was just one of those when overtime comes and you're dominating and you don't get the goal. It was always going to be, oh God, don't let it happen. But we had that touch of class at the end, and that's 2 out of 2. Super Slam's still on.
Here he goes. Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, let's deal with the ramifications of that statement on another podcast, because
we're going to be knackered for the weekend now, aren't we? I think it's all in all seriousness. I think Belfast are probably going to win the league this weekend, because I cannot see us beating Sheffield in both games.
And I really don't want to see Belfast win the title whilst we're over there for the weekend.
But we've done it to them in their ring, but then the following season they came back here in January and won it, didn't they? So this is one for a future podcast, but now we've won the Continental Cup. The first British team to win a Continental trophy and a domestic trophy in the same season, by the way. We've won the Continental Cup, we've now won the Challenge Cup. That's surely a successful season, right? Yeah. Anytime you win a trophy, it's a successful season.
And I think we're the first team to win the Challenge Cup, having had to have played in the playing game. So we have taken the long walk to that title. We've had to do it the hard way.
Apart from having the home game in inverted commas.
Let's not get into that. I mean,
well, we already did get into that last time around.
Because basically we're on hiding to nothing. If we'd lost, Coventry would be vindicated. All this, that, the other
It was lose-lose. It really was lose-lose as far as the Panthers.
We said this on Friday, didn't we? It has tainted a little bit. But I did have I've had a question from Lee in Doncaster, who would like to know, is this the first Challenge Cup we've won in the Elite League area without Matthew Myers? And Paul Baum, you were looking into that, but I don't know if you found the answer or not.
I was looking into it, then I got bored. I think in 2016 he was playing. I think possibly not. I think he might have gone to Cardiff and then come back at some point. I don't know. I'd have to have a look.
Was he not playing for Cardiff when we beat Cardiff in Sheffield? The Evan Mosey overtime goal. Anyway.
Anyway.
That's for a future time.
I mean, if there's another topic of conversation that we can dive onto while Paul is furiously checking elite prospects.
To be fair, he's actually answered it himself. He's looked it up. Not even close. We've won it 3 times without him. 4 now, I guess. But
Lee, get back in your cave. Gentlemen, I don't think we need to chew the fat much further than that. We've done what we intended to do. We've done it before. We did the during, and now we've done the after. And the upshot of it is that the Nottingham Panthers are the Challenge Cup champions for 2026.
We've got our trophy back.
Just don't give it to Lacko.
Well, it's all right. Lacko didn't get anywhere near it, so it's fine. It is going to remain in one piece. You'd think so anyway.
We probably just dropped him in it as well.
Right, gentlemen, we will reconvene at a future date to get back onto league matters. But until then, let's just bask in the glory that is getting back the Challenge Cup. Thank you very much for listening. We're all absolutely spent, even though it was just the one game. Some of us have got work to go to tomorrow, and we're probably going to be feeling it. Some of you who have been at the game and may still be stood in Bolero Square right now, you may have work tomorrow as well. For that, we sympathise, we empathise, Godspeed and all that. We'll do this all again soon. From Ant.
Take care, everybody, and just enjoy it, Panthers fans. Look at what we've been through in the last 10 years. We've had a massive drought, and now 2 seasons running, we've got 3 trophies. The good times are coming back. The league title may be out of reach now this season, but it's coming.
It's a coming round the mountain.
And from Adam.
Build that statue of Danny Stewart now.
And from Paul.
Cheers, good night.
TTFM, we'll see you next time.
Campeones, campeones,